Queen Mocha Mama here, back for yet another video. This piece is called Letter to Self, Forgiveness. The reason why I wrote this piece, checking myself in my own video, excuse that. The reason why I wrote this piece this year for me has been quite a bit about spirituality and meditation. And a counselor that I've been seeing through this journey mentioned that I should confront past fears, past hurts that are buried in childhood. So one of the things that I think a lot of people struggle with is letting go of those childhood curses or struggles or pains or whatever you're going to classify it as, and just forgiving yourself, forgiving yourself for what you feel like you did not do or you did not accomplish or you weren't good enough for. And that was very relieving for me. It was almost like a breath of fresh air to be able to write this piece, and very emotional as well. So I'm going to get into it for you guys. It's called Letter to Self, Forgiveness. I forgive you for feeling like the world has turned its back on you, for sending you away when you were just a small child and then yanking you out of that environment to only introducing you to seemingly a bunch of strangers. You felt lost and alone, existing with another man's last name, but no idea who he was or the foundation of your mere existence. I forgive you for being scared, but pretending to the world that you were strong and brave. I forgive you for your insecurities and your looks when your older sibling called you a monkey and made you feel like you wanted to bleach your skin. This lack of identity and insecurity in appearance, body, and complexion made you feel uncomfortable in relationships or when accepting compliments. You don't need your mother's approval or anyone else. You have proven to yourself that you are strong, resilient, accomplished, worthy, beautiful, loving, and loved by many. Why then don't you believe? Forgive, let go, surrender, and step into your purpose. So that piece was to my younger self. And really just letting myself know that it's okay, let it go. You've grown, you've matured, you've endured a lot. You're okay, you made it. For me, a little bit about my background is I am Jamaican. My mother and father, biological and stepfather are Jamaican. Most of my family is all Jamaican. But I was born here in Brooklyn, New York, raised in New Jersey for most of my life before I came to Texas. But I spent about 5 years in Jamaica with my grandparents, my aunts, and some cousins on my mother's side of the family. So when I spoke of being sent away and being yanked out of your environment, I grew up basically thinking my grandmother was my mother, at such a young age, and then being taken away from her and not being really told what was going on, and then being brought back to my biological mother and starting over a new life with her and my stepfather and my new brother. At the time, I think when I came here, he was like 1 or maybe even less than that. So, the trauma of all that change, at such an early age, caused quite a bit of identity issues as well. And then not knowing my biological father earlier on in life, although my stepfather had completely filled that void. Like he's my father, no one can tell me otherwise, because he did such a great job at fulfilling that role. But I did have, a lot of identity issues. Colorism was existent. My older sister, who was my stepdad's daughter, came to live with us. And she was lighter complexion, and she dealt with a lot of bullying and a lot of pain and abuse from, when she lived in Jamaica. And then also when she came to the States, she was bullied a lot at school. So she came home and took it out on me. So I dealt with being a target for a lot of her pain and feeling like I was ugly and not enough. And I always thought she was beautiful. But in all of that, I thought lesser of myself. So I struggled with a lot of, being able to embrace what I looked like and accepting myself for who I was until way later in adulthood. Body issues, again, I was very skinny. I was always very skinny. I didn't start to put on weight until my mid-20s. I think I graduated high school at like 105 pounds or something. So yeah, I didn't have that curvy look that all my other friends did. I was skinny, I was shy. I just had a lot of different factors that kind of played on my mental, that kind of delayed my ability to really embrace myself and self-love and all of that. And that kind of fed into relationships and how I dealt with trying to feel validated by men and accepted. Although I wasn't the chick that was running around the streets and had a lot of boyfriends. Like my first boyfriend, I think I was 17 and I lost my virginity to him and all of that. But nonetheless, I still sought out that validation that I wasn't getting from myself. I didn't seek that from within first. I was looking towards outward influences to gain all of that acceptance. So I hope this piece influences someone, or even inspires someone to really look within and kind of get to the root of what is bothering them here as adults. Take a look back at the childhood version of yourself. So like, share, comment. Let me know what you think.